Anderson. He's going to take you guys through black economics and black political standpoint from what blacks should do economically. Now, the new civil rights movement is a black economics movement. And something I watched Dr. Boyce Watkins. I love, respect Dr. Boyce Watkins, but one thing he doesn't do is teach black economics, group economics. If I get rich, move to a white neighborhood, spend all my money with whites, spend all my money in a Chinese food store, it benefits blacks none. It makes blacks have to work 10 times harder to get out the hood, and we don't have to do that. Boyce Watkins teaches individual standpoint from getting rich, but not as a group. We work 10 times harder when we work as an individual. I love Dr. Boyce Watkins, but he doesn't teach group economics. The most important thing, you don't ever see the Chinese in school a lot. You know why? They teach group economics. They don't have to go to school too tough to get a student loan and work harder. Instead, we need to group economics. We don't have to beg for a job. If I go get my doctorate degree, move to a white neighborhood, spend all my money in their neighborhood, it benefits blacks absolutely none. It does no point. I want to take y'all through on Dr. Claude Anderson.
There's a direct relationship between having the businesses and being in prison. Go find how many Asians you can find in American prisons. They ain't gonna be in there. But 51% of your prison will be black because blacks don't have any businesses and industries. There's a direct link. Blacks won't practice group economics. Blacks won't practice group politics. If you don't practice, you're setting yourself up. I told that 5-story building, you're setting yourself to get wiped out. Understand the nature of race, which is economics. If you build the first floor, it's economic. Build your businesses and your industries. Control business and industry, and put that pulls in your money, and hold that money, and practice group economics with it. Arab and Asian money bounces 12 or 13 times what it leaves. Jewish money bounces 18 times. Black folk got to learn how to practice group economics. Black Americans spend every penny they get outside their own community. Then you take the money and the wealth that you get from that first floor and go to the second floor. The second floor is politics. You then take that money on the first floor and you control your politics. Black folk must quit allowing people to tell them to go out and vote. Vote for what? Nobody's going to do anything for black folk in politics. Politics is controlled by money. Major corporations who got the money. That's what controls politics. If you have no money, you have no say-so, you have no benefits coming. So you take your money and you control, and you take your money from the first floor, you buy every politician on the second floor. And any politician you can't buy, you rent or lease them to get what you need. Then once you get the second floor under control with your politician, with your money, then you go to the third floor. The third floor then is the police department and the court systems. You take your money from the first floor and your politics on the second floor, and you control the court system and the police departments. Then the fourth floor, then is media. You then take the money that you generate off the first floor from business and industries, and you go after radio stations, TV stations, newspapers, and cable systems, so that you can now inform and communicate with your own people. Right now, black folk only control less than 35 thousandths of 1% of the media in the United States. Out of 12,000 radio stations, black folk own about 75, 80. That's all. You own no cable systems. You don't have a daily newspaper. You have nothing of importance. You got about one black TV station. So you can't communicate with your people. You can't inform your people. You can't do anything. You can have Rush Limbaugh and all the rest of the guys talking about racism all day long and bad-mouthing you, and O'Reilly's. They can call black folk all kind of names all day long. What are you going to do? You can't respond. You can't communicate with your own people because you don't have an economic base. 51% of all the prisons in the United States are black people. You only make up 12% of the population. That's no accident. It's because you don't control the economics and the politics. And they're going to go after the weakest people they can get their hands on to incarcerate them. That's the black folk. And what are you going to do in response to them when they over incarcerate you? You're going to go out and have a march, a demonstration. We're going to march. March for what? Who cares? Marching, they never changed anything.
Now, we got to control the economics and the politics. Now, did you see Dr. Claude Anderson says, vote for what? Have we ever got anything out of politics? Let me tell you something. America cannot save us. The governor, the president, nobody's coming to save us but us. Black people have to realize that. We cannot depend on anybody else. And why should we? We have to do it ourselves. They're going to come after the weakest people. Check this out. The Chinese don't vote. You know why they don't vote? They bought every politician already in their back pocket. Jesse Jackson is under investigation now. Chinese billionaire have been bribing him for years. That's why the Chinese has so much power right now. They don't associate themselves with voting because they associate themselves with group economics and group politics. You buy your politician. Money equals power. And with no money, no power, we are powerless. We are weak. We'll easily be destroyed. And that's why children are killing each other out here in Chicago. Because we have no money. We have no power. We can't go give one of these young brothers a job. Something we do have to address is the single parent household. We must address that, but I'm not going to address it in this video. A lot of you guys, anybody that know me, know I address the household and which is welfare that's destroying and has destroyed our black community. Now, Chinese, they about group economics. They don't spend a dime outside their neighborhood. Tell you something, Chinese food spot, they got to be tired of eating Chinese food every day. But they don't walk outside the black neighborhood and go shop across the street at the Subway, at the Taco Bell. They definitely would never shop at the Harold's or any black stores. But they're coming to your community and rob it for all its resources. They're coming to your community, take your dollar, take it back to their community. That's what they're about. Until blacks learn that, we are doomed as a people. I love Boyce Watkins. Watch his channel all the time. Just got through watching his channel. Not one word about group economics. Not one word about spend your money black. If I get rich right now today, if I hit the lottery for 100 million and move into a white neighborhood, who benefits from that? White people. If I move out of my neighborhood, buy a mansion in Beverly Hills, white people profit because I'm spending all my money with them. I'm bringing my money back to their neighborhood. So if I teach financial literacy, but don't teach black financial literacy, it dooms our people. It benefits blacks none. I love him that he's teaching black people financial literacy. That's cool. And I respect him. But when are you going to start teaching black financial literacy? If we don't, let me tell you something, we don't have to work as hard. I don't have to go to school and get a doctorate if I could just open up a damn business right here in the black community. Until we teach each other how to become bosses instead of employees, we're going to be doomed as a people. Financial literacy is cool. We need it. We definitely have to learn it because we got a lot of brothers out here think that we can buy big houses, big cars, spend most of our money instead of saving most of our money. But that's because blacks, when you brought up being super poor and you brought up in poverty and you don't get money until you're 19, 20 years old, you're going to spend it crazy. You're going to spend it on stupid things like a nice car because you never had it. You grew up without it. You're going to buy it on a nice house because you never had it as a kid. And you're just now seeing these particular type of things as you're older. Now, there's a site called WeBuyBlack.com. And I want you guys to check this out. This is WeBuyBlack.com. Now, this is just like Amazon, eBay. But check out these toothbrushes. Now, what I want you guys to do is come on this site, find something that you like. It could be one or two things. Now that I found toothbrushes from black-owned businesses, I'll roll with this forever. I'm going to buy a few packs of these. I'm going to use them. These are only $5. They got a lot of other stuff on WeBuyBlack.com. And, check them out. Even if you buy one or two things, they have a lot of stuff on here. They have health, beauty, shampoos, stuff like this, deodorant, fragrances, hairstyle, anything that you can need. So instead of, when you buy it off of Amazon and eBay, you don't know who you're getting it from. At least here, you know that you're getting it from a black vendor. And they also allow you to sell stuff on here as well. You can register to sell stuff. You can buy stuff for the house. You know, if you want to buy something, and you know, even if you come on here once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, come on here, shop on here. Like me, I'm gonna get all my toothbrush, toothpaste, stuff like that right here from this site. And we, and which is something that we need as a people need to do. We need to start thinking as a group instead of just as an individual. You know, some of these sites, there's a lot of opportunity. Now, here's something I hate. Black people, we are so petrified of change and sacrifice. The other day, I was starving. And matter of fact, let's say if it's three businesses in the black community, a lot of black people use an excuse. Oh, it's no black business, no black business, so I'm going to continue to shop white. Stupid. That is stupid. Excuses. Look, if it's four businesses in your black community, if 50% of the community supported those businesses, then guess what? Those four businesses within 2 or 3, 4 months can open up 2 more businesses. And within a year or two, we own all the businesses. Then that's when you venture out and own businesses in other communities. That's what the Chinese done. That's why the Chinese never be begging for jobs. That's why the Chinese have power. They understand group economics. Group economics. And until we learn that, we are doomed. We are doomed as a people. The reason why our children are killing each other, man. Young brother was just robbing some damn store the other day out here in Chicago, and he got killed because he wanted a few dollars to feed his family because he couldn't go to the corner store to get a job. Wasn't no jobs in the community, so we gotta rob each other, steal, kill, and rob liquor stores. They making $18 million a year out the black community. Average liquor stores, $18 million out the liquor store. The lottery in Inglewood, they spent 27 million on lottery tickets. Guess how much they put back into the community? Not 10 cents. School closing in the black communities. Guess how much the liquor store, who profited 18 million, guess how much they put back into the black community? Not 10 cents. The Chinese food store is at 10 and 15 million a year in the black community. Guess how much they put back into the black community? Not 10 cents. We are the dumbest fucking people economically on the planet. We would literally give every dime away, turn around and cry about no jobs. Instead of doing for ourselves, we would rather beg the mayor to give us jobs instead of creating our own. Now, how backwards is that? In fact, forget backwards. How stupid is that? You would rather beg your way instead of just sacrificing. In Dr. Martin Luther King days, they sacrificed. They was able to boycott the bus over a year. Walk. Some of them had to walk 3 or 4, 5 miles to work. And they could have caught the bus. But they supported their race. They said, look, we're going to buy black. We're going to... Now, a lot of people think that saying buy black is racist. That is not racist. Now, if there's a white community, and that white owner lived in the community, therefore his tax dollars came back to blacks. Oh, that's amazing. He hired from the community. Chinese food store would never hire black to work in their community. If they hired from the community and lived in the community, tax dollars and paying taxes, these Chinese food store, they keep their dual citizenship. And keeping their dual citizenship, they don't have to pay taxes. They're not paying anything in the black community. Therefore, they get rich off us. They're not paying taxes. And they would set it up. After the 60s, once we ventured off into the 70s, we were just so happy to have rights and equality that we didn't even notice that they was positioning themselves in power and to control all our businesses. Have foreign-owned businesses operate tax-free in our neighborhood. Therefore, take all the jobs and opportunity. So in the 70s and 80s and the 90s, they would position themselves in power. Now we got each other. Now we out here killing each other. and just the easy way to wipe out our wipe your enemies out the face of the planet. Just move them out of power. That's it. It's about money. It's about power. Once the black community figures that out, we'll be something. Till then, we're doomed. It's a damn shame that we still got black people going to white neighborhoods to shop. Wake your people up. That's stupid. They would never come in your community and shop. What the fuck are you doing in their community and shopping? Somebody explain that to me. These motherfuckers would never hire you. They would never come into your community and shop. What the fuck are you doing going in their community and shop? That don't make any sense. That's stupid. We are the most backwards people on the planet. That's just flat out stupid. Spend your money in your own community. Create your own jobs. Don't beg for a job. Right now, we got to go to school, get a master's degree, get in debt to give our money right back to them before, and then go crawling on our hands and knees to beg them in their community for a job because we spend all of our money in their community and all of the jobs over there. Stupid. Ass backwards and flat out stupid. That's us. Till we figure that out. And that's why, Boyce Watkins, I love that he's teaching financial literacy. Don't get a car note. Spend your money wisely. Don't overspend, But when are you going to teach spending your own community? I can't stress this enough. How are we going to get employed first and foremost when we don't have a job? When we spend 98% of our money in other neighborhoods? We spend $1.3 trillion. The problem is we spend it in other neighborhoods. That's the problem. We spend it in other neighborhoods. So while we're spending our money in other neighborhoods, it's going right out of the black community. Now we got to work much harder because now our property value is dirt because businesses are closing in our neighborhoods. So our property value goes down. So now if you bought a house in the black community for $100,000, once those stores close, your property value is now $50,000. Now you're upside down in your mortgage. Now you're probably looking at foreclosing because you can't sell your house. Your kids can't find jobs in the community because you won't shop in the community. Now they having to rob each other, go to jail. Now you crime. Now you got more crime. Now your insurance goes up because your house is probably going to get fucking robbed because they know it because there's no jobs in your community. So the next thing the people in your community got to do is rob because now you got to steal your car. So now your car insurance, you're going to pay. So don't jump on here talking about, in the black community, our stores charge too much. Oh, you would rather spend $30 in gas to go to the white neighborhood. You'd rather spend much more car insurance, house insurance. You're going to pay somehow. Then when they rob your house, everything in your house is gone anyway. So now you're stuck. So if you don't shop black, you're doomed as well. Your family is doomed. Even if you as an individual make it out the black community, let's say I make it out, and which I have the means to move out of the black community, but I never will, but let's say I just make it. But what about your mother, your brother, your sister, uncles, and cousins? They are still out there. They are still in harm's way. They are still a direct target. So if we don't come, and I say get rid of welfare, bring back the family. That's one of our biggest issues. I'm not going to address that in this video. So I'm just testing this software. I think I'm live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I could pull up. I'm going to run the video of Dr. Claude Anderson again.
There's a direct relationship between having the businesses and being in prison. Go find see how many Asians you can find in American prisons. They ain't going to be in there. But 51% of your prison will be black because blacks don't have any businesses and industries. There's a direct link. Blacks won't practice group economics. Black won't practice group politics. If you don't practice, you're setting yourself up. I told that 5-story building, you're setting yourself to get wiped out. Understand the nature of race, which is economics. If you build the first floor, it's economic. Build your businesses and your industries. Control business and industry, and put that pulls in your money, and hold that money, and practice group economics with it. Arab and Asian money bounces 12 to 13 times what it leaves. Jewish money bounces 18 times. Black folk got to learn how to practice group economics. Black Americans spend every penny they get outside their own community. Then you take the money and the wealth that you get from that first floor and go to the second floor. The second floor is politics. You then take that money on the first floor and you control your politics. Black folk must quit allowing people to tell them to go out and vote. Vote for what? Money and the wealth that you get from that first floor in politics. Politics is controlled by money. Major corporations who got the money. That's what controls politics. If you have no money, you have no say-so, you have no benefits coming. So you take your money and you control, and you take your money from the first floor, you buy every politician on the second floor. And any politician you can't buy, you rent or lease them to get what you need. Then once you get the second floor under control with the politician, with your money, then you go to the third floor. The third floor then is the police department and the court system. You take your money from the first floor and your politics on the second floor, and you control the court system and the police departments. Then the fourth floor, that is media. You then take the money that you generate off the first floor from business and industries, and you go after radio stations, TV stations, newspapers, and cable systems, so that you can now inform and communicate with your own people. Right now, black folk own and control less than 35 thousandths of 1% of the media in the United States. Out of 12,000 radio stations, black folk own about something like about 75, 80. That's all. You own no cable systems. You don't have a daily newspaper. You have nothing of importance. You got about one black TV station. And so you can't communicate with your people. You can't inform your people. You can't do anything. You can have Rush Limbaugh and all the rest of the guys talking about racism all day long and bad-mouthing you. And old right talk, call black folk all kind of names all day long. What are you going to do? You can't respond. You can't communicate with your own people because you don't have an economic base. 51% of all the prisoners in the United States are black people. You know you only make up 12% of the population. That's no accident. It's because you don't control the economics and the politics. And they're going to go after the weakest people they can get their hands on to incarcerate them. That's the black folk. And what?
Right. Understand. They're going to go after the weakest people they can get their hands on, and that's black people. That's the weakest people on the planet. That's the brokest people. Since we're the brokest, they're going to go after us. They have to go after the politicians. Voting doesn't do a damn thing. Buying the politicians with no money, no power. Donald Trump pointed that out. He had every politician bought already. He could get anything he wanted. He pointed that out. Bernie Sanders pointed that out. Hillary Clinton was in the back pocket of every politician already. Every major corporation already had Hillary Clinton bought already. They could get anything, any bill, anything they wanted passed. Because let me tell you something, even when Barack Obama, after the Newton shooting, 27 children killed, right? He couldn't get any gun laws passed. You know why? Because the NRA had every single House and Senator bought already. The NRA has money. The politicians are bought already. It's about money. With no money, you have no politicians. Politicians ain't going to do a damn thing for you because they're going to do whatever the big corporations pay them to do. If they need to pass a bill on this or get a contract or anything, that's who's going to get the major contracts. That's who's going to get the deals. It's about money, people. Understand money first. That's why we represent 51% of the prisons. That's why, that's another reason why 50% of us are dropouts. We don't have 10 cents to invest in our own community. But we're spending $27 million on lottery tickets, $18 million a year in each community on liquor in the black community. We're spending millions in the Chinese food store, the hair. We're spending millions on everybody else except ourselves. And then we turn around and beg for jobs. Then we turn around and say, hey, we are begging people. We need to stop begging and complaining. Something else. You know what? And a lot of people want to say, oh, it's because of slavery. We need to stop with excuses, period. I'm done talking about the problem. Let's talk about solutions. And the solution is the group economics. And that's build, buy, invest in your own community. In your black community. If you live in a black community, you invest your money there. Wherever you live, invest in that community. Clean up the trash. Why have we got so much trash out in the black community? Why don't we respect our neighborhoods? Why don't we invest in our own instead of begging and waiting? A lot of people think that waiting and begging is going to get us somewhere. We got 500 years to say that'll never happen. Anyway, I'm out of here. Make sure, if y'all on YouTube, make sure you like my Life in the Chi on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on everything. I'm gonna start going live every weekend. I go live on both. I'm gonna start doing a lot more live shows. All right, y'all. Peace.